New Brunswick has a rich agricultural history. However, in the past 5 years, more than 600 farms across the province have shut down. Today's changing market is making it difficult for family farms to stay open. Melissa Oakley spoke to local farmer Jean Hoyt to find out more.
Jean Hoyt owns 32 acres of apple orchards in Prince William, New Brunswick. The farm has been passed on through 6 generations of his family. This season, Hoyt will be cutting down 20 acres of trees because he's going bankrupt.
Number one, the expenses have all gone up. Fuel costs have gone up, spray costs, chemicals, fertilizers, and the labor component has got very, very tough in the last few years.
Most of Jean's crops are on the ground. This is partly because there are not enough workers to pick the fruit.
Our attempts to try and harvest the fruit before it fell, we were looking for workers, and of course there was a shortage of workers and skilled laborers to do these farm jobs.
Even if Hoyt had enough workers, there are not enough people buying his apples.
Back in the late 80s, early 90s, we were doing approximately $4 million worth of apple sales, of local apple sales into the local supermarket chains.
Last year, his sales were under $300,000. Paul LeBlanc is the manager of the Apple Growers of New Brunswick. He says that farmers have to get used to a new distribution system. The traditional way of growing apples doesn't work in today's market.
Before, we used to load up apples on the back of a half-ton truck and go to the store down the road and go to the back door and have the apples displayed on the shelves.
LeBlanc says for today's farmer to survive, the answer is simple.
The growers have to work together in terms of creating some critical mass and a delivery network that they can plug into a system. Instead of being independent, that they deliver their own apples to their own store, they have to be part of a group. That as a group, they will fit into a stream that delivers to Sobeys or Loblaws or a co-op.
Until this happens, farmers like Jean Hoyt will continue to lose their business. This season, his apples will either rot on the ground or be sent to make apple juice.
With farmers getting older, there may not be enough time for them to adapt to the changing industry. The next generation must come together and conform to the new system to keep family farms alive in New Brunswick. For Stu Journalism, I'm Melissa Oakley.
The aging population across the province has become a concern for many people. With a shortage of nursing home beds, those wanting to move in can find themselves on lengthy waiting lists. In Fredericton, York Manor Nursing Home is upgrading their residents to meet those growing demands. Nicole Baudry has the story.
Most people don't look forward to living in a nursing home, but in New Brunswick, the waiting list to get in keeps getting longer. The population of seniors in the province has been growing nearly twice as fast as all other age groups since the 1980s. Many seniors apply to become residents of nursing homes because of the special care they offer. Conard moved to York Manor in Fredericton 7 years ago. Though he suffers from arthritis, he moved to the nursing home because of his wife's health problems.
Really, my wife needed care more than I did, but we decided for me to come in. She had a heart condition, but she couldn't take care of me, you see. Her condition was such that she couldn't take care of me, so I came here.
Conard lives with 197 other residents at York Manor. They will soon be joined by new neighbors after a $31 million expansion. By 2010, it's expected to be the largest nursing home in New Brunswick. Ken McGeorge, director at York Manor, says that people will have to get used to a wait.
The province could stand probably another several hundred nursing home beds if the truth were known, but and they will get to that over time.
Nursing homes provide a bed for over 4,000 New Brunswickers. These two think that's something to chirp about. The aging population of New Brunswick makes finding a bed at a nursing home increasingly difficult. The number on waiting lists at York Manor has doubled in the last 9 months, with again an increase of over 50 beds expected for the following year. York Manor has expanded and will be opening on October 23rd an entirely new section. For Stu Journalism, I'm Nicole Badry.
Fredericton cyclists are required by law to wear helmets. However, there are few to enforce the law now that summer park patrol officers are finished for the season. With more on that story, here's Stephanie Van Kampen.
It's a common sight on Fredericton trails. Bikers of all ages enjoying the outdoors. But what is not so common in the fall is seeing park patrol stopping people for not wearing helmets. Every year, the city hires 4 summer students to patrol the trails and enforce bylaws. Joanna Boone works for Park Patrol. She thinks more could be done to enforce the helmet law during the off-season.
Perhaps more staff on further into the season, because the Park Patrol are done, I think, at the end of August, and there's still a lot of traffic in September.
Jeff Seymour doesn't like the bike helmet law, but he says he has good reason for not wearing a helmet.
Because I don't like carrying them around.
According to city bylaws, all bikers are required to wear a helmet or face a fine of $25. Constable Duncan Lombard says police are responsible for enforcing the helmet law when Park Patrol retires in the fall. But he says police are more focused on car crashes and speeding.
Our priorities a lot of time are motor vehicle accidents and speeding, things of that nature. Bicycle enforcement is not really a top priority.
With Park Patrol done for the season and the law not making the police's top priority, bikers might find they can get away with a lot more. As for me, I'm not taking any chances. For Stu Journalism, I'm Stephanie Van Kampen.
Don't go anywhere. After the break, Kaori and Nate has the weather.